What's up everybody, welcome back to the Riding Dad channel. We're gonna be taking these mirrors, flipping them upside down, and there's a couple reasons why you might want to do that. But let's roll the intro, I'll explain my reasonings for it, and we'll start doing this incredibly simple, I don't even know if you could call it an install.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the Riding down a
So there is a couple reasons you might want to flip these puppies upside down. One, depending on what kind of bike you have and your height and your handlebar style, they might be just way too high up and you have to angle them way down and they just either look stupid or they're uncomfortable or unnatural to look at. So you might want them at more of a natural head position. The other reason that I can think of, which I never thought of before until it happened to me, was I just recently got some different gloves. If you saw my other glove review, it'll be posted up whatever corner it is, of the Harley gloves I had previously been using for the last 3 years. But I got different gloves and they have the knuckle protection on them. And when I go to grab this at different areas, it's hitting this. Now, I could probably put a couple washers, or I'm sure somebody makes an extension to put it up. But then it would be, one, it would be uneven, and then it would, to me, it would just look weird. And just constantly moving around, I played with a different, couple different positions of this mirror and moving it either forwards or backwards. Everything was in the way and hitting the knuckle, and it's not something that's gonna prohibit me from being able to grab the clutch, but it's something that it just kept knocking. It's gonna wind up deteriorating the finish on the mirror where the rubber, kind of plasticky rubber sliders interact with it. And you know what? It's a super simple fix, even if you want to go right back to where the mirrors like stock are. So I figured I'm going to try it. I'm going out for a ride this morning anyway, so let me try it. These handlebars, if you've seen my other videos, these are not stock. These are like 2 inches higher than the stock position, and they're moved back a little bit. So if you have a stock bike, the reverse mirrors might be kind of weird being able to actually look on it. But also, if you know who I am, I have a Honda Grom, and those mirrors are way far down either, so I've been accustomed to looking down recently when I've ridden that. So moving these, I don't think is going to be too much of a, kind of shock for me. Muscle memory is kind of being developed from riding the Grom anyway. So by being both in similar places, it might just be more of a constant muscle memory thing instead of having to think constantly, okay, up on the Harley and down on the ground. But whatever, main reason is because of the gloves. So the only thing you're gonna need for this install is a 1/2 inch wrench. You gotta make sure that one of the sides, I just tested it, doesn't really accept the actual full piece. So you're gonna need an actual, like the crescent part of the wrench. I believe an adjustable will probably be good, but these are super simple and cheap, and just 1/2 inch wrench, that's all you'll need. And then blue Loctite I'm gonna use. I believe from the factory it doesn't come with blue Loctite on the mirror stems, but a little bit of blue Loctite never killed anybody. All right, so for those of you who have never dealt with any kind of mirror stuff or anything on the Harley, the stem basically just comes through the perch, and then there's this nut on the end that keeps the, well, obviously it keeps the mirror intact on the bike, but it also holds in, if you still have your stock turn signal locations, it'll hold in your turn signal as well. Don't worry about placement. These have like a little notch, so you don't have to worry about getting them all out of whack or whatever if you're crazy about having everything in the exact same position. So we're gonna take our 1/2 inch wrench, and basically, I didn't say before, but you're gonna be swapping the left side mirror with the right side, just because they go upside down, obviously. So we're basically gonna take this piece off the nut, drop, be careful that it doesn't hit or scratch any of your paint. We're gonna drop the turn signal, and then do the same on the other side, swap the mirrors upside down, and all is good. Make sure you do catch this and then reutilize it on your install back. All right, now we're on the right side. This is the side that I said is gonna be a really tight fit, and just to use a regular one of these. And I actually lied. I don't know what happened, but it does fit just fine. So we're gonna break this loose. Make sure to grab that washer again. Don't let it fall. Drop this, and then I'll talk to you guys about something a little bit different on this side. So obviously my brake and clutch levers are not stock. I did an install, and part of the install was to make sure that points were greased that needed to be greased and lubricated. But on the right side, you'll see that this stock turn signal mount has a little divot. You'll see there's some grease in mine, but that basically is where the pivot point is for the brake lever on your right side. So this is a good time, especially if the bike is older, or for whatever reason, if you're just all dried up over there, just make sure there is a little bit of grease in there. It's a real easy clip to just remove and take out. I mean, you can do that all the time, but while you already got this off, this is a good time to make sure that there is grease there and make sure that everything operates nice and smooth. So now we're gonna take this mirror, put it off to the side. We're gonna grab the left mirror that we already took off, put it through this on the right, and put that washer and bolt on the top. I wouldn't tighten them down too much yet because you still got to get on the bike and make sure that everything is in the correct position for you to actually see things. Make sure that you turn your handlebars left and right completely before you complete this install and go off and riding, because the last thing you want is to go off riding and all of a sudden hit your tank or your knee or something like that. So just make sure while on the bike it doesn't hit the tank or any other part of whatever you got going on, and it doesn't interact, depending on what your bike setup is, with your knee placement or anything like that. We're gonna go on to the other side. Same as before, mirror first, then turn signal mount, washer, and bolt. And you'll see on the right side, that little divot where that grease was, that's where it kind of stayed. And then on this side, like I said, they have little placement, kind of place markers, and they'll go back to the exact same position. That's this little divot on this. So when you are putting this side back in, make sure that this lines up with that little divot on the perch and that you're not trying to force something and then all of a sudden it clicks. So make sure that is done first. So that's it. Like I said, super easy install. If I wasn't taking the video for you guys and explaining things, I think it may have taken me 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So as long as you have a 1/2 inch wrench of some sort or an adjustable wrench or anything like that, no doubt that you could perform this. I wouldn't even call it an install. It's basically just a switch of parts around. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this ultimately, if this is gonna be the end scheme that I have the bike set up as. One thing I did notice while I was doing the install, I didn't say to you guys, I have, if you've seen my other video, I have a helmet lock up here. It's by Lid Locks, and usually my helmet would go on the mirror stem and then lock into this. Now I'm losing that mirror, so I mean my helmet can still probably sit up here all right, but I lose that gigantic security of having an actual mirror in the helmet and keeping it kind of balanced. So if you have maybe a sissy bar or some other helmet mounting option, or you just don't use a helmet or leave it on the bike or mount it or anything like that, then this is not a concern for you at all. But I will keep you guys posted if I do switch the mirrors back, whether it's in an hour after I go riding or in a month or 2 months or whatever. I'll let you guys know. Like I said, it's super simple. You're not damaging anything, you're not ruining anything, you're not permanently changing anything. It's a super simple thing to do, super easy, and very easily and quickly reversible. So no hesitation on doing it. If you ever thought about possibly trying it out, just try it out. It takes a few seconds and it's easy to do. So if you were paying attention, you would have noticed that I did not use Loctite, and yes, I forgot as I was doing the install, telling you guys and explaining everything, I did forget to do it. But before I sit on the bike and figure out the mirror placement, before I cinch everything down, I am going to put some Loctite on it. So I would not forget that step for this. I think it's somewhat important. These are your mirrors. I know you got that kind of crush-ish lock washer. It's not really either technically of them, but I know you got that. Just a dab of blue Loctite, peace of mind. It's a pretty thick bolt, so you're not gonna have any problems getting it off with a decent wrench or anything. So I'm gonna put some Loctite on it. I'm gonna try these out. It does look super weird right off the bat, just not having the mirrors on the top. Still not sure aesthetically if I like the way it looks with the top or bottom mount of the mirror, but like I said, I did it for glove reasons. we'll see how it turns out. If you did this, or if you are thinking about doing it, let me know the pros and cons that you have experienced of it, or the things that you're thinking about before doing it. Just down below, let me know. I love interacting with you guys. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris. You've obviously clicked on a Riding Dad channel video. And I have a 2020 Harley Davidson Lowrider S, which is this puppy. And then right over there, I have a little baby Honda Grom, which is also a 2020. I have a bunch of parts en route to the house to do some build series videos on the Grom. So if you like this video, or if you got anything from it, whether enjoyment or knowledge or anything, or you just enjoyed hearing me babble for 10 minutes, please hit the like button. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Every little bit helps and I appreciate it. I love interacting with you guys, whether it's on here, comments, or anything like that, or I have an Instagram, and that's the easiest way to have like an actual conversation with me instead of going back and forth in comments and everything. And I do post pictures too. I mean, that's what Instagram is majoritively for. So that concludes this video. There are 2 videos here, one of which YouTube thinks you like, one I just posted. So make sure you click one or both of those, give it a watch, and until the next time guys, ride safe, have fun, Dad out.